Happy morning, dear students. Welcome back to your science class. How are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. Yes or no? As you know, we have completed all the lessons. So, from today, we will start revision. What we will do in the revision? Again, I will explain the whole chapter. Some videos will be there related to the concept, and I will repeat the exercises. And what you have to do? You have to watch the video carefully and prepare the exercises for the exam. So, let's start with lesson number 1, living and non-living things. Now, let me tell you the things you will come to know in today's class. Characteristics of living things, characteristics of non-living things. Living things need food and water. What do the different animals eat? Living things need air and sunlight. How do the different animals breathe? How do the different animals move? Living things need a suitable place to live. Living things can grow. Living things can reproduce young ones. Different methods of reproduction. Living things give out waste products. Living things can respond, and living things have a lifespan. So, these all are the characteristics of the living things. So, let's start. The characteristics of living things. Living things need food and water to live. Animals need food and water to live. They obtain food and water from their surroundings. Some animals such as parrots, goats, deer and cows eat only plants. Animals such as spiders, owls, snakes and tigers eat other animals as food. Foxes, bears and sparrows eat both plants and animals. Plants also need food. Most plants make their own food in their leaves. Plants also need water to live. They take in water from the soil through their roots. So, as we can see, all the living things, they need food and water. Some animals, they eat only plants. Some animals, they eat only flesh of other animals, and some animals and flesh of other animals. Plants can make their own food. Do you know about cactus plants? In most cactus plants, leaves are reduced to spines and food is made by the green fleshy stem. They don't have leaves, that is why they make their food with the help of their stem. Now let's talk another characteristics of living things, that is, they need air, sunlight and warmth to live. Animals such as dogs, snakes, monkeys and birds breathe through lungs. All of us breathe through lungs. Frogs live both in water as well as on land. When on land, they breathe through their lungs. When in water, they take in air from the water through their skin. Fish have gills. They take in air present in water through their gills. Insects breathe air through tiny holes present on their bodies. Plants take in air through tiny holes called stomata present on their leaves. Most living things also need sunlight and warmth to live. So we can see all the living things, they need air to breathe, but all they have different organs to breathe. Like most of the animals, they have lungs. Fish have gills. Insects have tiny holes on their bodies to breathe. But frogs have both lungs and skin also, because they live in both the places, in water and on land also. When they are on land, they'll breathe through their lungs. and when they are in water, they breathe through their skin. Plants take in air through their tiny holes called stomata, and they need sunlight to prepare their food. Now the next, all living things move. Living things move on their own. Non-living things cannot do so. Animals move from one place to another in search of food and water, to escape from enemies and to return to their shelters. All insects have 6 legs. They use their legs to move. Most insects have wings to fly. Birds have 2 legs and 2 wings. Most birds use their wings to fly and legs to walk. Water birds such as ducks and swans have webbed feet that help them to swim. Some birds such as ostriches, penguins and kiwis cannot fly. They are called flightless birds. They have strong legs to walk and run. Fish live in water. They swim with their fins. Snakes do not have limbs. Limbs means all 4 hands and legs together. They move by sliding. Most snakes can swim. Mammals are animals with hair on their bodies. Mammals that live on land have 4 limbs. They move with the help of their limbs. Some mammals such as otters, dolphins and seals can swim. So we can see all the living things can move, but their way of moving are different. Like some of the animals can walk and run, some of those can fly, some of them slides, but all can move by their own. Now we will have an audio-visual presentation.
Yippee! We are going on a safari.
Come on, hop on everyone. This bus is going to fly.
I am a human. I don't hop. And this is a bus. It can't fly.
Hey, that was just a joke. Of course, we know that all living beings move differently.
Can you hear the sound? So many birds on that tree. Birds can fly because they are very light and they have wings.
Quiz time! Can you name some birds that cannot fly?
Emu, ostrich, penguins.
You are absolutely right. They have heavy bodies which restrict them from flying.
There are plenty of insects too that can fly. Bees, butterflies, dragonflies. Look! A snake! It's running so fast.
It's not running. You need legs to run. Animals like snakes and snails do not have legs, so they slide.
I know a bird that can walk, swim, and slide, but cannot fly. Can you guess what it is? The penguin! Penguins slide across ice and snow. Look! The signboard says, "Watch out for monkeys."
Look up. I'm sure we can find them on the trees. Monkeys and squirrels jump from tree to tree in search of food.
Over there, rabbits. 5 of them. I think they are playing hopscotch. Ha! Then they are playing all the time. That's how they move. Hop, 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 hop. Do we see any more animals that can hop? Kangaroos, hares, grasshoppers, and look over there. That frog is hopping his way to a pond.
Frogs can jump. And they can swim too.
Let's have a closer look. Wow! So many fishes here are swimming in the pond.
Most of the animals that crawl have bodies bigger than their legs. Caterpillars, lizards, and a lot of insects.
Run! A crocodile! And he's swimming towards us. That was a close call. I'm glad we can run.
Now, let us think of some animals that run or walk.
Cows, goats, cats, dogs, lions, elephants. The list seems endless.
Quiz time again. Which is the fastest running animal on land?
The cheetah, of course. And if a crocodile appears, you'll...
What do you think? Do the plants move? Plants do not move from one place to another place, but some of the plants, they fold their leaves when touched, like touch me not plant. Sunflower can change their direction towards the sun. So these are the movements of plants. Living things need a suitable place to live. All living things need a suitable place to live. Coconut trees, for example, grow in warm regions close to the sea. Apple trees grow well in cold regions. Wild asses live in dry desert, whereas cheetahs live in warm open grasslands. Polar bears, Arctic fox, and penguins live only in the cold polar regions. Some animals, such as sparrows and crows, live everywhere, so that we can see living things need a suitable place to live, which is suitable for them. Like coconut trees, they grow in warm region near the sea. Apple trees grow in cold region. Like asses, they live in deserts, whereas the cheetahs, they live in open grassland. Similarly, the polar region is suitable for penguins and polar bears, and some of the animals we find everywhere, like which is living things grow. Plants grow throughout their lifetime. Animals grow in size only during the early part of their lives. Non-living things do not grow. For example, stones, books, and toys do not grow. So what do we see here? Living things like plants and animals, they grow. But the animals, they grow only when they are child or small. Once they become adult, then they do not grow. But the non-living things like stones, books, toys, bricks, pencil, pen, can they grow? No, they cannot grow in size. Did you know a butterfly develops inside a structure called pupa? It comes out of the pupa as a fully grown butterfly and does not grow in size after that. So, did you know the thing? So this is the butterfly. So the butterfly, where they develop? They develop inside a structure. The name of the structure is pupa. Once they come out from pupa, they do not grow in size. Now we will go to our next subtopic. Living things produce young ones. Animals reproduce either by laying eggs or by giving birth to young ones. Insects, frogs, fish, snakes, lizards, and birds lay eggs. Animals such as mice, cats, dogs, cows, deer, lions, and tigers give birth to young ones. Many kinds of plants produce fruits with seeds. New plants grow from seeds. Non-living things do not produce new things like themselves. So what we see? The living things can reproduce like themselves. Some of them, they reproduce from seeds. Some of them, they reproduce by laying eggs. Some of them they give birth to their young ones. Like insects, frog, fish, snakes, they lay eggs. Birds, these are the animals, they lay eggs. But mice, cats, dogs, human beings, tiger, lion, they give birth to their young ones. Do you know the meaning of mice? Mice is the plural of mouse. Plants also they reproduce from their seeds, but non-living things they cannot reproduce their young ones. Our next subtopic, that is living things give out waste products, means living things excrete. A living organism works all the time. Its body performs many functions. While the body works, it produces several waste products. Waste is harmful to a living organism, which is why all kinds of living organisms remove waste from their body. Non-living things do not give out waste products. So we can see all the living things give out their waste products. It can be the form of sweat, it can be the form of urine, it can be the form of transpiration. Because all the waste products are harmful for the living organism. That is why they give out these waste products from their body. But the non-living things cannot do so. Now we have our second last subtopic, which is living things respond to stimuli. All living things respond to stimuli. Anything that causes a response in a living thing is a stimulus. Sunlight, for example, is the stimulus that makes the leaves of certain plants open. The opening and closing of leaves is the response. The smell of sugar attracts ants. The smell of sugar in this case is a stimulus, and the movement of ants towards sugar is the response. Non-living things do not respond to stimuli. So may you get the confusion what is stimuli and stimulus. That is nothing. Stimuli is the plural form of stimulus. So here you can see all the living things respond to stimulus. They have given two examples of plants and animals. I will give you one more example of human being. You think you suddenly touched a hot saucepan. What will you do? You will suddenly pick up your hand and you will make a noise, ouch, isn't it? So here the hot saucepan is the stimulus, and you pick up in your hand and making the noise ouch, that is your response. Okay, did you understand? So this is the concept here. But the non-living things, they do not respond to stimuli. Now the last subtopic we have, that is living things have a lifespan. The time period for which a living thing lives is called a lifespan. Every living thing has a certain lifespan. Trees, for example, live for many years, while herbs live for a few months. Living things die after their lifespan is over. Non-living things do not have a lifespan. So we can see all the living things who born, one day they die. They born, they grow, then at the end they die. But non-living things, they do not have lifespan. They do not born, they do not die also. So now if I have the question what is lifespan? So lifespan is the time duration, how long for example, some of the lifespan we can see for some of the animals, like housefly live for 1 month, marigold plant 5 months, dog lives for 13 years, elephant for 35 years. Parrot 50 years. Carp fish and mango trees can live up to 100 years. Giant tortoise can live up to 150 years. Pine tree can live up to 300 years. So these are the some examples of lifespan of different animals. Now let's have an audio-visual presentation on the characteristics of living things. Then we'll go for the answer keys.
Characteristics of living beings. Living things are organisms that show characteristics of life. These characteristics are common in all living things. All living things are made up of cells and require food and water to live. Animals depend on other animals or plants for food, while plants make their own food. All living things breathe in air. The method of taking in air differs in different animals. All living things move. However, the movement of most plants may not be so obvious to our eyes. Do you know sunflower plant faces the sun as it rises and follows it across the sky as it sets? All living things live and grow in a place suitable for them to feel safe, find food, and reproduce. Can you spot a penguin in a desert? Well, no, because it cannot survive in heat. All living things grow. Animals grow up to a point, while plants grow throughout their lives. All living things reproduce. Some animals lay eggs, while some give birth to young ones. And most plants reproduce through seeds. Every living thing has certain mechanism to eliminate waste from their bodies. Oxygen is actually a waste product given out by the plants. Respond to stimuli is also one characteristic of living things. Plants also respond to stimuli such as sunlight, touch, and water. All living things live for a period of time and then die. Now let's take a quick look at all the characteristics of living things we learnt.
Now let's have the answer key of the exercises of lesson 1. Open your book everyone and match out the answers. First, an animal that breathes through lungs is a monkey. Second, plants make their food in their leaves. Fish have gills. A mammal that can swim is an otter. Fifth, an animal that lays eggs is a lizard. Now go for the next page. Here what you have to do? You have to study both the pictures, picture A and picture B. In picture A there are living things. In picture B there are non-living things. And below the picture A there are some statements, and below the picture B also there are some statements. So which statements are true? Those you have to tick, and which are wrong, those you have to cross out. Okay, so let's read. First one, they grow. Yes, it is true. They do not need water, air and food. It is wrong. They produce young ones. It is true. They can move on their own. It is also true. They are living things. Yes, it is true. They are non-living things. It is wrong. Now go in the right side. They grow means here non-living things. It is wrong. They need water, air and food. It is also wrong. they do not produce young ones? Yes, it is true, because the non-living things, they do not produce young ones. Next, they cannot move on their own. Yes, it is also true. They are living things. It is wrong. They are non-living things. Yes, it is true. Now, all the students, please take out your notebook. You might have written all the answers. Now let's understand the answers. First, name an animal that eat both plants and animals. So answer is foxes eat both plants and animals. Second question, where are stomata present in plants? Answer, stomata are present on the leaves of plants. So we know that where are the stomata present? So stomata are present on the leaves. Third question, where do animals that have webbed feet live? Means where are the animals they live who has webbed feet? So the answer is animals with webbed feet live in water. Who has webbed feet? They live in water. Question 4, how do flightless birds move? How do the flightless birds move? They cannot fly, so how do they move? So answer, flightless birds move with the help of their strong legs. With the help of their strong legs, they move. They walk or they run. Question 5, name the plant that closes its leaves when touched. So we have to name the plant who closes its leaves when we touch. So the leaves of the touch me not plant closes when touched. So what is the name of the plant? Touch me not. When we touch that plant, closes its leaves. Now let's go for the long questions. First question, do frogs need air to live? How do they take in air? Yes, frogs need air to live. When they are on land, they breathe through their lungs, and when in water, they take in air from the water through their skin. So we can see that frogs live in both the places, land and in the water also. So when they are on land, they breathe through their lungs, and when they are in water, they breathe through their skin from the water. Second question, how do birds move? Birds have 2 legs and 2 wings. They use their wings to fly and legs to walk. So with the help of their wings and legs, they move from one place to another place. Third question, write the difference between growth in plants and in animals. Answer, plants grow throughout their lifetime. Animals grow in size only during the early part of their lives. So we can see that the plants, they grow during their life. How long they live? They grow. But animals have a particular time in their early part of their life only they grow. Now the last question, explain giving an example to show that living things need a proper place to live. Means they are asking to give an example that the living things, they need a proper place to live. Answer, all living things need a suitable place to live. For example, coconut trees grow in warm regions close to the sea. Apple trees grow in cold regions. So we can see from the example that living things, they need a suitable place to live. Some animals or some plants, they need warm region, some animals or some plants the cold region to live. Thank you very much all the students. Take care of yourself and be safe. And as I told you, you have to prepare the exercises of the lesson for the exam. Bye bye.